What does it mean to be proud of your life? Not the highlight reel. Not the job title, not the house with clean angles and manicured grass. I mean the quiet moments when the world isn't watching. When it's just you and the person you became. Can you look that person in the eye? Because the truth is, pride in life doesn't come from applause. It doesn't come from validation, praise, or likes on a screen. It comes from alignment. From knowing you made the hard decisions. From waking up each day, even on the ones that hurt, and choosing the higher road. That's where self-respect lives. That's where real confidence is born. And that's the foundation of a life worth building. But let's be clear. Pride doesn't show up for the undisciplined. It doesn't reward the comfortable. It is reserved, earned, for those who confront themselves, confront their patterns, and refuse to live beneath their potential. And most people won't. Because building a life you're proud of requires a decision. A final one. The kind that says, I'm done negotiating with mediocrity. I'm done outsourcing my responsibility. I will take command of this life and everything that comes with it. Responsibility is the gate. Discipline is the price. And character is the reward. You don't get pride by talking about what you're gonna do. You get it by making quiet promises to yourself and keeping them. Day after day. Year after year. Especially when no one is watching. Because that's where the real test is. It's not about whether you have talent. It's about whether you have the courage to use it. It's not about whether life has been unfair to you. It's about whether you'll rise anyway, or stay bitter and blame. And don't misunderstand me, life is unfair. It rains on the righteous. The good get hurt. The honest are betrayed. The kind are taken for granted. The faithful are tested. But that's not the point. The point is that you were born into a war. Not with other people, but with your lesser self. The one that wants to stay in bed. The one that makes excuses. The one that says maybe tomorrow. And until you defeat that version of yourself daily, you will never feel whole. That's why discipline isn't punishment. It's not some cruel restriction of freedom. It's the only path to freedom. When you know you gave the day your best, you can sleep. When you know you honored your word, you can walk with your head high. When you know you didn't take the easy way out, you start to like the person in the mirror. But when you lie to yourself, when you settle, postpone, break your word, avoid the pain, you may still smile on the outside, but deep down, there's an ache. And that ache? That's the voice of your conscience. It doesn't yell. It whispers. But it never goes away. You can silence it with distractions. You can bury it in food, in noise, in busyness, in comfort. But at the end of the day, when the noise fades and the masks come off, it'll be waiting. Asking the question, is this all you were meant for? You see, you don't get a second life. This isn't a dress rehearsal. You get one shot. One window. One opportunity to turn what you were given into what you were meant to become. And here's the harsh part, if you don't build your life on purpose, you will inherit a life built by your patterns. And patterns don't care about your dreams. Your future is not built by chance. It is built by your philosophy. By what you believe, what you stand for, what you tolerate, and what you refuse to allow anymore. So stop asking for guarantees. Stop begging for comfort. Stop blaming the economy, your parents, the government, your past. That might win you sympathy, but it will never win you freedom. Instead, sit down with yourself, without the noise, without the distractions, and ask, what kind of person would I need to become to build a life I could be proud of? Not rich. Not famous. Not admired. Proud. And you'll find the answer isn't in motivation. It's in standards. Your life will rise or fall to the level of what you allow. What you accept from yourself. That's where the climb begins. Not when you change your circumstances, but when you change your standards. So raise them. Raise them not for the world, but for yourself. Because when your standards change, your behavior changes. And when your behavior changes, your life follows. You see, success isn't something you pursue, it's something you attract by becoming a certain kind of person. The kind who shows up early. The kind who finishes what they start. The kind who tells the truth, even when it costs. The kind who gets up when they fall, every time. But that version of you isn't built in comfort. It's built in discipline. It's forged in frustration. It's formed in the lonely hours when quitting feels easier than continuing, but you keep going anyway. That's where the muscles of character are built. Rohn said, "Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better." But I'll add, don't just wish. Work. Wishing is passive. Working is active. Working is what separates the people who dream from the people who build. Because you can't build a life you're proud of with weak habits. You can't build it with a scattered mind, a lazy body, and a fearful spirit. You build it with intention. With sweat. With sacrifice. Every morning, you're handed time. The most expensive currency in the world. 24 hours. No carryover. No rollover. Just a blank canvas. And what you do with that canvas is your life. But most people spend their days reacting. Reacting to their phone. To their urges. To their moods. And they wonder why nothing changes. They want freedom, but avoid responsibility. They want pride, but avoid discipline. They want success, but avoid structure. It doesn't work like that. There is no achievement without alignment. There is no fulfillment without integrity. And there is no peace until your actions match your values. So start there. With alignment. Ask yourself, are the things I do each day creating the person I claim I want to be? Do my actions reflect my values or just my habits? Am I building a future or just surviving the present? You'll know the answer. Because deep down, we always know. You know when you're playing small. You know when you're escaping responsibility. You know when you've let the fire dim inside you. But here's the good news, you're one decision away. Not from a perfect life, but from an honest one. One where you stop pretending and start building. Where you stop performing and start aligning. Where you stop making excuses and start taking ownership. You want to know how to build a life you're proud of? Take responsibility for everything. Even the pain. Even the scars. Because as long as it's someone else's fault, it's someone else's power. And as long as it's someone else's power, you're stuck. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's liberation. Because the moment you say, "This is mine," is the moment you gain the power to change it. Yes, it will hurt. Growth always does. Yes, you'll lose people. Alignment always costs. Yes, you'll feel fear. But courage is not the absence of fear, it's the mastery of it. You will question yourself. You will be tempted to go back to the old ways. But let me remind you, regret will always weigh more than discipline. Because the pain of discipline lasts minutes. The pain of regret? It can last decades. The question is, which pain are you willing to live with? Because one leads to pride. The other leads to shame. And once you feel the deep, soul-level pride of earning your own respect, not chasing it from others, but earning it from yourself, you will never go back. You will not tolerate laziness. You will not entertain excuses. You will not associate with people who drag you into mediocrity. You will become the architect of your own life. That's what this journey is. Not about perfection, but progress. Alignment. Integrity. Because when you start to live in integrity with your potential, something changes inside you. You start walking differently. You speak more clearly. You stop needing to prove yourself, because your life becomes the proof. And maybe people won't see it at first. Maybe they'll still treat you like the old you. Maybe they'll question the new standards, the new boundaries, the early mornings, the quiet focus. But that's okay. You're not building this life for their applause. You're building it for your peace. Let them misunderstand you. Let them doubt you. Let them laugh now, they won't laugh later. Because greatness is quiet in the beginning. It's not loud. It's not glamorous. It looks like saying no to the party. It looks like going for a run in the cold. It looks like sitting with your journal when others are scrolling. It looks like earning $10 with integrity instead of chasing a shortcut that promises 1,000. But over time, the compound interest of discipline becomes undeniable. One good day leads to another. One hard decision becomes a habit. And before you know it, you've become someone new. Someone with standards. Someone with a code. Someone who knows what they stand for. And no, you won't be perfect. You'll still fall. You'll still bleed. But even when you fail, you'll do it with honor, because you tried, fully, with everything you had. That's what makes a life worth living. It's not about how many people know your name. It's about how well you know yourself. It's not about how much you own. It's about how much you earned. It's not about being admired. It's about being respected, especially by the person in the mirror. So build that life. Brick by brick. Morning by morning. Promise by kept promise. Build it not on emotion, but on principle. Build it not for the moment, but for the man or woman you're becoming. Build it not to escape your past, but to redeem it. Because every disciplined day rewrites your story. Every honest effort becomes a thread in your legacy. And every time you rise when it would have been easier to shrink, you grow into the person this world desperately needs. And yes, there will be days when you feel small. When the mountain ahead looks too high. When progress feels invisible. But on those days, remember who you said you wanted to be. Not the version of you that's motivated when it's easy. The version who stands tall when it's hard. Because in the end, a life you're proud of isn't built all at once. It's built one decision at a time. One disciplined moment stacked on another. Until one day, without realizing it, you become the kind of person who never needed to be reminded again. You just lived it. You became it. You embodied the life you once only dreamed of. And when that day comes, you won't need a speech to inspire you. You'll look at the mirror, and you'll know. You built it. You bled for it. You sacrificed for it. And now, you walk in it. A life you're proud of. And no one can take that from you. Ever.